Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from Wilmington, Delaware, on the road with the seeds of transformation. I like the way that sounds. I think we'll do this more often. Of course, I choose to be on the road when there's a huge, hurricane bearing down on the East Coast. But here, I don't think we're gonna. We have some rain today, but I don't think we're gonna get the wind and such that they're getting in New Jersey and New York and Connecticut and Rhode Island and Massachusetts, all the states I have to drive through. So I don't exactly know when I'm going to be getting on the road again. I'm going to wait and see. So today is Sunday, people. Yes, I know I don't always know what day it is. Is today Sunday? Am I making that up? Well, I do know it's the 22nd, and I do know of August, that is, and I do know that today is the day of the full moon. Yes, we have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, and it's at the very last degrees of Aquarius, with the sun at the very last degrees of Leo. And we have something else going on today. I'll talk about the full moon a little bit more, but we do have Mars making a trine to Uranus. Mars is in Virgo, Uranus is in Taurus. And Uranus and the sign of Aquarius, as I said yesterday, are often associated with extreme weather events. And so here we go with yet another extreme weather event. And so Mars trine Uranus, the energy of Mars is there is nothing holding it back as it connects with the energy of Uranus, which generally can't be held back anyway. But there's a flow to the energy today as opposed to more of an oppositional force. So I think today there's lots of changes in the air. I think on the other side of this full moon even, we're going to see a lot of things change. And I think probably the best advice with this sort of energy is to just sort of go with the flow and keep your intuition high and peaked so that you can figure out what it is that you need to do in the moment that you're in. So things like plans and, schedules are probably shot to, well, I won't say the word, but so allow yourself to sort of follow the what nature has to say to us, and also, don't get caught up in your own ego about what you have to do today or what you have to do for this or what you have to do for that, because Mother Nature and fate and destiny may have different ideas. So let's talk a little bit about this full moon. Of course, this is our second full moon in the sign of Aquarius. We had one a month ago at, I think was it 1 or 2 degrees of Aquarius. And of course, we have to remember that at the end of last year, 2020, we had Saturn and Jupiter make a conjunction in the 1st degree of Aquarius. So there is a lot of Aquarius energy happening. And what we may see is a little bit of a taste of actually the next couple of years, or even as far as saying the next 20 years, with Aquarius being very prominent. Saturn and Jupiter making that conjunction, starting that 20-year synodic cycle. And Aquarius does deal with the need for humanitarianism. Aquarius does deal with, as I said, weather events. It is ruled by Uranus, but it is also ruled by Saturn. So there's going to be this consistent and constant push-pull and clashing of the old Saturn and the new Uranus. We will also probably see more things associated with groups and group associations and elitism about what groups we're in. So it's almost going to be like little gangs, or it could be. It doesn't have to be. This is more of the negative side of Aquarius. There could be this sort of, are you in my gang? Are you in my group? And everybody else who's not in my group is evil. Or in its way, Aquarius can be a very separating force as well. But on the brighter side of Aquarius, we can reach out and work towards humanitarian ends. And so the decision, as always, right, is up to us. How are we going to utilize this energy? Are we going to go down the path of lesser intention, or are we going to go down the path of greater intention? I know the path that I choose to walk, and hopefully you'll walk that path with me, as the ensuing times and days come. The full moon is always a point of awareness. And so these are some of the things that we need to be aware of. The separation between, it's interesting because, there was a separation historically by race, right? If you were brown or black, you had a different life than if you were white. And then there's the political separation, at least there's a political separation all over the world, right? The more, I guess we could call it the more democratic side or the more liberal side, and then the more conservative or the more alternative right side, right? And now we're seeing it with the people who choose to get the vaccines here in the United States anyway, and the people who choose not to get the vaccines. So to just remind us that united we stand and divided we fall is still a truism and something that we need to keep in mind. So if we really want to survive and thrive through these days and through these months and through these years, we're going to have to come together. And how do you actually do that when it seems like all the forces are trying to separate us? You find the oneness and the unity within your own heart. You find the compassion within your own heart. And if you can come from that place, you will spread that out. So do not lose hope. Do not lose faith in your own ability to love and be loved. For as long as I can be, I will be here. And I know you guys are here. And let me tell you, I have a great watcher. My watchers are great. They're compassionate people. They care. They want to see the world become a better place and not a more divided and angry and, quite frankly, awful place. So let's keep up the good works, as they say. So I want to show you this plant right here. My mother, I don't know if she got it this year or when she got it, but this is called a popcorn plant. And when you rub on the stem, like if you rub on the stem here, right, this part, and you smell it, it smells just like buttered popcorn. So I do not know if this would grow in my, because I'm in a little bit of a different zone. I'm not sure if it would grow, but let me just show you a couple of other things she has in here. It's like a little paradise for birds and butterflies. It's just such a, so I didn't meet my mother until I was, I think 48, I think it was. And, but her aesthetic, it was so stunningly like mine and my husband Michael's that I found it pretty amazing. Not to know somebody, but to realize that you're so similar. So there's something to be said, right, for the vibrations that we come in on. And perhaps it's genetics, but I think it goes beyond that. It's connections. And the interesting thing about my situation is there's always been a connection of love. Even though I was not aware of her physical being, I was always aware of something beyond what I could see, a sense of feeling protected and loved by something beyond what I could see in front of me. And of course, my parents were very loving and protective as well, but it was like I had a guardian angel. And I think that energy was my mother's heart reaching out to me. So I know that that stuff works. So reach out to those you love and start with them. Even if they don't get vaccinated, even if they are even if they're alt-right and they're voting for Trump or, whatever it is, remember that the core and the key is the love that you feel. And that's a good place to start, because those are the people you know. And oftentimes those are the people that are most difficult, because you do have an everyday experience with them. And then you can sort of spread that love out. So that's my story for the day. I'm just going to sort of stay here on the front porch because it's raining, and I'm not a wuss, but I don't want my camera to get wet. It's not me. I don't mind getting wet. All right, guys, some birds. I'll just leave you here with the sound of birds. Yeah. Much love, everyone. Have a great full moon. Please be careful out there if you're on the road. Do not worry about me. I will be okay, and I will travel when it's safe to travel. And hopefully I should be able to get more videos out as we go up the coast, probably tomorrow. But I will be careful. And when I get back to Massachusetts, it's a good chance I'm not going to have any power. So if you don't see me for a couple of days, do not fret on that one, okay? And if I can't, if we have power, great, and I will contact and stay connected with you. If I don't, as soon as I get power, I will reconnect with you guys. So it's all up in the air. It's all unknown at this point, and it's so very Uranus and Aquarius. It's almost comical, almost. All right, guys, much love. Take care, and namaste.